All right, today I got some exciting news on this video. Basically, we got the Harbor Freight hydraulic scissor jack. It was a pretty good deal. Got it for $13.80, then plus tax with shipping. Came out to like $15.40 around there, so it was a pretty good deal. Couldn't pass it. Wanted a lift. Then I saw on eBay that they had some too, but I couldn't get in contact with the guy, so I went with this. Didn't want to miss the one-day thing. But regular MSRP, I think it's like $17.99 for that. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead. This is gonna be pretty much the unboxing. We're gonna get it right where the beamer is. We'll get it set up right there. Just kind of getting tired of working on the ground. Really exhausting. But hopefully that this can make my life more easier. Obviously, you can see it. This is how it came. I believe it's like 900 pounds for the whole setup, but hopefully it could be easy to move around, I want to say. But in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and unbox this, and then we'll just set up everything and just see how it goes. I don't know if it's a 110 volt or 220, so hopefully it's not 220 because only my 220 is actually right next to the Jeep. But yeah. Hopefully it ain't, but I didn't actually check that. But if not, I can get an extension, set it all up, and then I can have it set right here. But yeah, gonna go ahead and unbox it.
Oh, Mommy, what did you say?
Penny is the best.
Okay, come on. It is 220. No!
What does that mean?
220 volts.
Oh. Oh.
No biggie. Not the end of the world. Go get some cable and turn it into 220.
A massive.
Hurry, get this thing. Get it, get it, get it, get it. Alright. Woo. Hey, go put those back in the box. Dude, I don't even have those cutters for these. Ah!
There goes some more wood. Oh.
Hey, no. Hey, I thought it was stapled in, but guess not. More wood. We still got a whole bunch more stuff from the Harbor Freight toolbox. As you can see, we got that going. Not cut myself. God.
Is this what brand is it?
Harbor Freight?
Oh, like literally Harbor Freight?
No, it's like another one. Oh, this is for that.
That's to turn it on?
No, this is just to walk it around.
Oh.
Oh man. I wish I would have called for some backup today. Here, huh? Ah! 900 pounds.
And that's Penny. Penny, say hi! Hi guys, so I'm making a Christmas present for all the dolls. Okay, bye. See you. Mommy, I had enough holding that.
Keep holding it. You're a photographer.
Then you have to pay me $1,050.
$1,050?
Yes.
God, shit, girl. Whew. This thing is heavy. You are gonna need a second hand. Right, CJ?
Yeah, very heavy.
But we got it. So I think it's what, 4 feet? Guess we're gonna have a chiropractic massage. There, she's getting her massage. There we go. Oh man. But needless to say, this thing is pretty heavy. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the boxes around, and I'll get right back to the video. So I think we can do the length adjust with that, or move it around. We'll find out. Just saw that they had that right there. We set up the bolts, 6mm hex. And let's give it a shot. She's my instruction manual. Alright, so we can move it with this. We have our little notch on the bottom. And obviously, as you can see, it's still hard, but once you get it going, you can actually move it around pretty easy. Well, not that easy. You get what I mean. So for the most part,
No. No, Sophie.
it's not that bad. Yeah, I mean, I would say if you're kind of not that up there in a little strength or whatever, still it would be pretty little difficult to push around. Definitely make sure your floor is pretty clean. That should make it easier. Let's see. I did read pretty good reviews, but mostly huge complaint with moving it around. But I want to try it out and lift it. So we're gonna go get some hydraulic fluid, because obviously Harbor Freight wasn't generous enough to give us one. So oh no. So we'll be right back, get to the video, and then we'll start setting up everything. Hey, okay, you know I had you in my toolbox picture? You don't want to be in my list picture? Oh, well, okay, Penny, come on. Penny, come here. Everybody, one.
Oh, wrong one. I'm putting video. Sorry.
All right, so we went to Home Depot. We got some things. Got a 50 feet, 12 gauge. It needs to be 12 gauge or 10 gauge. Can't be any less than that. I got the wrong connector. Literally, it was in the box of that one, and got the wrong one. I even checked it. I just looked at the box and pulled it out. But that's my fault for not double checking. But you know when people misplace stuff. So we got this one. There's the part number for that, 214012. Doesn't have to be rigid, but they were the only store that was open at the moment. This is actually kind of late at night. So, yeah. So obviously our green is going to be going right here. We're going to have 3 colors. We're going to have 2 hots, and then we'll have our ground wire. Or our neutral wire, I'm sorry. We'll have our neutral. So again, our green will be our neutral, and then I think black and white is going to be our hot. So the black one will be going on the left side of my plug, because that's how my setup is, and then the white one will be going right there on the right side, just because that's how my setup is. So we're gonna go ahead and hook these guys up. I'm gonna cut this and then hook up everything from there. Now kind of show you the finished product of that. As for outlet wise, I mean, basically it's kind of common sense. I mean, it just depends on what outlet you guys have. But let me go ahead and hook this up. We got the hydraulic fluid. It was iOS VG32, but I got the one with iOS AW32, same thing. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and fill that up. So I think probably you're gonna have to spend an additional probably about $200 more, $210, just for everything all set up with the fluids and all that. All right, so went ahead, took off the little nut fitting right here, and it does come with an O-ring. So the O-ring that's actually on here, we took this off. That's actually on there. I just unscrewed this by hand. You don't need to put any Teflon or anything right here, because obviously that's how the other ones are. Just need an O-ring. So I'm just gonna bottom out the O-ring, and then hopefully it doesn't pinch. If it does, then we're just gonna have to replace it, and forth and so forth. So make sure it's fully seated in. If you do push it back, just like that, the O-ring will pop off. So you see how I just go up and down. So right there, up and down. So that will pop out the O-ring. So when you're doing that, make sure we fully seat this one in. Just kind of wiggle it in there too, so that'll help seat it in. I'll go ahead and tighten down that. And then as for this, now this is kind of how your preference will be. I think I might want to cut this guy. So I'll have it set up like a bike. So if I am, this will release this feature right here. So when we're pressing the brake pedal, as you can see, this will lift right up. So we'll go ahead and deal with that later. We'll go ahead and tighten this down, and then we'll get back to the video. All right, so obviously here's the oil we got. iOS, again, AW32. And then obviously we're gonna put 6.5 quarts of oil in the system. So we'll go ahead and do that. Obviously you gotta take off your cap from right here. And then there goes our O-ring over there. I'll grab that. We'll just fill it right up. So obviously this is going to be our lift button, so we're just going to go ahead again, fill it up. So 6.5 quarts not enough. Again, I don't know if this is the highest, but I can hear the system burping out, so we'll see. I'll add another half a quart, or we'll just add one more, or 2 more quarts. This is as high as it goes. So now, the way how we're going to bring it back down, we're going to go ahead and just press the brake handle, and then press right here. Just kind of go down pretty slow. Probably because there's no weight on it.
Let me get on it.
Do it. And yeah. All right, so now we got it all bled out. So I'm gonna go ahead and
I want to call it.
bleed it one more time.
I want to get a video.
So I think, yes, 6.5 quarts is actually pretty good. Or I want to say 6 3/4 of a quart will be pretty fine. That's for older people. All right, so we got our post up. Now, when it's down, I mean, obviously a car like this can't go over it. So we got to have something that can put it on top of that. So I've seen other people with setups with when they have woods for like regular cars. For trucks, shouldn't be no issue. But the way how we put these guys on, obviously, as you can see, so right there we'll have our locking nut, and then we'll have our washer. Now, I didn't tighten it down all the way because we want this to move a little bit. Now, if your thing is kind of like, if you can tilt it down like this, that means it's not tight enough. And then obviously for this guy, you just slide in from right here and so forth. So remember, when you want to push down on it, you're not supposed to feel it move at all. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, I like the setup. It's not bad for the price. I think I'd rather get we're gonna do the 2-post 2. I'm only kind of not happy about how high it doesn't go, but I mean, hey, for what it is, you can't complain on the price. So, but I do got to remove some fluid out from the hydraulic pump because just put about 6 3/4 of amount of fluid just so you have a little extra. It does say 6.5, but that's what I'm putting myself, 6 3/4. You can go by the instructions. But other than that, yeah, so these bolts, I think the one thing I forgot to mention, I didn't tighten, these are 8mm, tighten those down. And then this nut right here, I think I used 1 1/4. So yeah, 1 1/4. And yeah, I mean, we'll go ahead and set up everything and then we'll try lifting it up with the car and see how it works. So we got the moment of truth. I didn't record it, but let's just say fitment on the BMW is a little bit more difficult than a regular car, but we still got it though. So other than that, we'll see how this works out. I had to get these on the pinch welds. These weren't actually wide enough to get them on the actual the main spots to actually lift them at. That scared me when it stopped. It kind of tilted over. I don't know if you guys saw that, but height wise, I'm 5'10" or 5'11", almost 12, almost 6 feet. But as you can see, we got the wheel at my distance. So yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. We got it at eye height. It is kind of, I'm not gonna lie, but we got that. So that's where I had to lift it up. I actually wanted to lift them up from right here. That's where you're supposed to lift them up, but I was just able to get it at the pinch weld. Hopefully nothing got damaged on those. Same thing right here. I was able to lift it on one of the frame parts if I did that correctly. It's kind of hard to see. Pretty sure I was supposed to actually put it in more. Don't worry guys, this is a personal car. And then same thing right here, I was able to get it on the pinch weld. So like one side I'm actually able to get the distance, on the other side I'm not. So I wasn't kind of fond of that. So if they do have longer reach adapters, that would be great. Then I kind of noticed like a little bend. It's like a little bend. So I mean, I don't know about that. Should we do the wiggle test, Mina?
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
can't get under it until you do.
if it fucking falls, if it falls, then whatever. So this is me moving it up and down. I want you guys to see this. So wiggle test, it passes. So it's not that bad. But height width, I'm kind of happy with. I want to say as for getting under, not too fond of happy of that. So obviously once we want to finish doing that, we need to go ahead and lower it and lock it. Right now I don't have it locked. So without pressing the brake, we need to go ahead and lower it. So we're going to see how fast this lowers. Okay, so at least height, I think, moves about almost 2 inches down. So it does drop it down a little bit faster with weight on it as versus that. And then for the woods, I got 2x10s. I had these from like a job when we were working on the house. I left 1 foot gap right here, and I believe these are 10 feet long. So right there, I think that should be good for vehicles, for the cars. But other than that, can't complain for $1,500. So I think this will be great for brake jobs and all that. Probably, I don't know about oil changes. I'll probably use my ramps. For the oil changes, I just use the ramps just to make them quick. For other stuff, I think, yeah, it'd be good on servicing those. Yeah, pretty good access to the tranny. But as for the Beamer, it does kind of hinder a lot of spots. But again, it is a scissor jack spot, so obviously you can't expect too much out of it. But I'm kind of happy. So the only thing that I really don't like about it is that it doesn't have a wider angle, so I can't get too much leverage on it. So I mean, that's the only pretty much the thing on it. So I'm not that's the real killer on it. But it's a BMW, so if you guys are going to be doing your BMWs, make sure you get your jacking up points, or maybe get some custom ones. If they do have some extra long reach ones, then that would be great. But other than that, I mean, all said and done. If this video was pretty detailed or anything, comment down below what you guys think. If you guys know any links on they make a longer adapter set, then that would be pretty great. But thanks for watching, guys. All right, so here's a 2002 Honda Accord. Again, I'm still having issues with the long reach, but again, we can get it more on the subframe. So over here, I can get it on the pinch weld. Let me get that light up. So we can get it on the pinch weld itself, but technically we're supposed to be right here. On the other side, I was able to reach that. Right here, I'm able to reach that, but I know for the long reach, yeah, I think we'll be way better on that. I think they're about, I want to say about $165 for 2 pairs. They're about 26 inches, so they're about almost double the size. And then for right here, I was able to lift it up right there. And then right here, I'm on this side. So I don't know if I have it probably too far out, but I have it pretty almost semi-centered. But yeah, I think with the long reach, I think that would be a better upgrade. So that's what I really want to do, is get the long reach, and then all said and done with that, I think I'll be more comfortable with the long reach. So again, this one's a 2002 Honda Accord, and I'm just gonna go as we go, show a whole bunch of other cars on the progress. All right, so here's I think 2002 Honda Civic. This is the coupe right here. So as you can see, we're able to get to the front right there. But as for the rear, I was able to get to one side. If I wanted to, I could have got to the pinch weld. But the other side, I didn't have enough slack. But I'm pretty sure I could have got enough slack. So I think if I would have moved this over a little bit, adjusted it and center it, I think it would have been fine and got both sides of the pinch weld. But I was able to get right here on the frame without having to do any moving around and doing all that stuff. I didn't want to do all that, make it a bigger headache than what it is. Let's see, right here, as you can see, I didn't have that much room for the pinch weld, but again, I had a little bit more slack on the other side. So yeah, man, that's pretty much it for this car, and we'll go on to the next car. All right, so we got some sad news, right, CJ?
Yes.
So we ended up returning the jack.
Oh yeah.
And the reason is,
It was taking too much space.
oh, get out of here. I mean, it's nice. Don't get me wrong. It's nice for what it is. But the thing is to order the adapters, that's an additional $400 for other cars, you know, just doing it consistently. Now, the other thing is too, is that when having this, like, sometimes you got to move it, then you got to have the ramp. So, I mean, it was, in the beginning it was okay. Like, I'm like, oh, I was pretty happy. Then finally I got a feel for it. And then I'm like, this is not going to be for me. To try to even do it like an oil change, I couldn't even do that because the scissor jack was in the way most of the time. I mean, that's perfect for tire changes. Like, if you're going to have it in the shop for something for tire changes, great.
If you have the space.
If you have the space, we got space. We got space. CJ.
There's no space.
There's space, bro. There's space. Míralo, míralo. Ahí va, ahí va. There's Misa. Subscribe. Oh, there we go. Subscribe to the channel. So, I mean, like I said, it's all right. I mean, the most I've ever put weight on it was the Chevy or GMC Sonoma. Same thing as the S10. But that one had like a box in the back, and I mean, it held it, and it had a lot of weight in the back. That's for sure. The guy still had his tools on there. He was a plumber, so I mean, he still had a bunch of equipment on there. So I know for sure he had it loaded with stuff. Not saying like it's overkill, but I know the truck was already like at 4,900 pounds. So with the stock bed, not saying like with the aftermarket custom bed, but yeah, I mean, it kind of got in the way for most of the time. But I mean, overall, like I said, if you're going to be doing brake, suspension, and all that, I was able to do a fuel pump on it, on that with the GMC truck, which was still a little tedious. I mean, it's a different technique on how to work it, because I'm usually able to do fuel tank drops on the floor, and I can knock those out pretty fast. Like usually like 17 to like 30 minutes max, and that's with usually recording a video too, being on 30 minutes. And I mean, yeah, that one took me like an hour and a half. But again, I'm still learning that technique. It's not my comfort zone. So, but yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the story. I'm gonna end up getting a 2-post lift, right, CJ? 2-post coming its way.
Next year.
Ah, gosh. Next month. Next month. She won't know. But yeah. So I mean, but all in general, I mean, it did its purpose. I used it a few times, so I mean, probably maybe used it about 30 times, 30 to 40 times I used it. So obviously, it's got its use. But yeah, I mean, other than that, but yeah, I mean, if this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up, comment down below if you have any questions, and hit that subscribe button for more upcoming videos in the future. And thanks for watching.